This is the Entrepreneurs Chat. We are a group of entrepreneurs meeting every weekday between 8 and 9 to talk about different aspects of business, different aspects of entrepreneurship so that we can empower and inspire each other. And today, guys, I'm super excited. We are with Lebo of Seaga Wines. Lebo, how are you doing?
Good morning. I'm great. Thanks. And yourself?
No, I'm super. Thank you. I'm super. Thanks. Thank you for joining. Maybe you can just introduce yourself for the people who don't know you and what you do. Then we can go into the topic of the day. So today, guys, we are talking about how to market your food and beverage products, right? A lot of people do baking. A lot of people do cooking. A lot of people even produce beverages, but they want to know, how do you penetrate the market, right? How do you go into the mainstream market? And are there other alternatives as you are working towards that? Because I guess that's the point, right? It's a big thing. If you are going to have any sort of success, I believe you need to learn how to market and put these things into the mainstream markets. So we want to. I think that's what we're doing today. So you can introduce yourself, Lebo, and we can get going.
All right. Good morning to everyone. I am Lebo Seaga from Seaga Valley Wines. We are a supplier and wine distributor. Our wines are being manufactured in Western Cape, and then we distribute anywhere within South Africa, and currently starting to venture into broader spaces like your Botswana. So yeah, we're just doing everything food and beverage, wine consulting, wine business planning. We're doing markets, festivals, yeah, everything that you can think of that has to do with wines. That's what we do.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And so that's cool. Hey, that's cool. So you
Yeah.
know what? How or where do we start? How has been your journey when it comes to
Market.
marketing your wines, right? Getting your wines out there. How has been that journey for you? Just getting out of your WhatsApp group, your WhatsApp status. You know what I'm trying to say? I feel like a lot of people sometimes getting stuck in their WhatsApp status,
It's
and
difficult.
that's all they
Yeah,
do,
oh, it's
right? That's all
difficult.
they
It
do.
still is. But like any other business, when you start, you basically the CEO of everything. You do everything by yourself. So I was one of those as well. I had to do my own marketing, my own branding, making sure that the labels and the brand speak to what and who I am, speak to those that I'm trying my clientele, make them understand that okay, this is what the brand is about. These are the core values of the brand. So I needed my brand to make that statement. So what I did is when I started the brand, the labels were just an elephant and the wine name. Nothing fancy, nothing big. But then during COVID, when there was a shutdown and I couldn't distribute anything, that for me was actually a great opportunity because that's when I had the opportunity to actually rebrand all over. So what I did during that time, I enrolled for an online course for graphic designing, those short ones. I think it was for like 3 months. I enrolled, learned a lot about graphic designing, how to speak your brand, how to make it relevant, how to make it bold, how to make your statement through your brand without saying anything at all. So I learned about all those things. And then I was like, okay, now it's a perfect time for me to start rebranding so that whenever I get an opportunity to start reselling again after COVID, then definitely I've got something new to offer. Cool
Hmm.
stuff. From there on,
So wait,
once I
just
could,
just wait a
yes,
bit there. So let's talk
yeah,
about branding, right? Let's talk
yeah,
about branding because that's very important. Let's talk
yes,
about branding. So this is your logo, right? I don't know if people can see, right? So
yes,
this is it, right?
yes,
So that's the elephant there, and Siaka Valley wines and
yes,
the other stuff. So tell me,
yeah,
what did you want to communicate first of all, right? I think that's
yes,
where we should start.
we
This is a
start.
very important thing you bring up in terms of
Ye-
what do you want to communicate. Let's say I've got my scones that I bake. my muffins, whatever I'm doing. What do I want to communicate? What does this elephant mean to you? Why is it there?
So, initially, the elephant, like Seaga is my surname, then our family totem is an elephant, right? So, initially, we all know that elephant symbolizes a different stuff, like your strength, bold mind, the strength to actually push anything to success, the calmness that it has, the building of family. If there's one thing about elephants, they are so overprotective of their family, then whatever is it that happens, they are protective of their, what do they call them, their family and their
Yeah,
surroundings.
I don't know. It's not
They are protective of their tribe.
uh-huh.
Yes, they are protective of their tribe. So in that way, I needed people to understand that when I use an elephant, it basically symbolizes what the brand is about. We capture everything that an elephant stands for. So either way, when you become part of the family, you become part of the elephant family that we are. So
It's
without
like a herd,
saying, my
yeah.
people see an elephant and they're like, oh, okay, what does that mean? Because at some instances, when I was doing this other market in KZN, people were like, oh, we actually saw an elephant and then we didn't understand, okay, what was the brand about? Because one thing that drew us to the elephant is that when we do itagazelo, I'm not sure what they called in English, but itagazelo, where they praise their surnames, they use an elephant as their symbol, as a totem. So that's what
Mm,
drew them to my brand. So I didn't have to say much. Them being drawn to my business, to my brand, by only an elephant. That's the exact message that I wanted to send out.
okay, cool, man. So that's okay. So that was also something, attached to you personally, but
Yes,
also something that stands out in terms of the person, whoever is holding, this seeing this label, right? So
yes.
you said you then went to the brand to the brand school. What were they
Yes, it was
teaching you
online
there?
with it was Allison. Yeah, Allison.com, where I did the
Mm,
online free graphic designing course. And then I got my certificate after that. And then that's when I decided, since I've learned something new, let me use this time constructively to rebrand my wine, not just my wine be an elephant and then Seaga wines and then there's nothing to it, because it was just that plain. So then what I did, that's when I actually learned about Canva. I didn't know anything about Canva, even that it existed. It existed. I knew nothing at all. Then I started, fiddling with it, getting to understand it, how to use it. That's when I started creating the whole entire change of the logo.
wow. So you
Then
put like,
I made sure that it sticks to the specific colors that I want. And I also needed to make sure that with the variety of wines that I have, they need to be differentiated so that people understand, okay, this is the red wine range. So all the red wine range have the three little circles, right? That are red. And
oh,
then the
like this.
white ones, yes, those
Okay.
circles just under at the top of Seaga wines. Those are the
Oh.
ones. So the red wine range has the red circles. The
Mm.
what is it? The white wine range has green, and then the sweet rosé has pink. Yes,
Yeah.
they're
Okay.
all different. Because
Mm.
even with the
Wow.
MCCs, then they are a bit broader. So with your Brut, they are silver. With the Blanc de No, it's gold. The MCC Raw, it's gold. And then the Rosé, it's also sweet pink. So I made sure that everyone gets to understand so that even when someone sees it from afar, they're able to say, okay, this is the red range, this is the white range, these are the MCCs, and these are the sweet ones. So I was able, because one thing about me, I always love using color coordinates. Even when I work with people, I don't know if it's a strange thing or what, because even when I work with people, I make sure that I give them color codes so that I'm able to know that, okay, these ones that are yellow, I know they're bright, they're bubbly, so this is how I actually handle them. And then these purple ones, they are subtle, they're down to earth. This is how so everything that I do, including interacting with people, I always use color coordination because it helps me interact much better with different people.
Wow.
And
So,
then,
so, so,
yeah,
so with all this, I see like it's really, well put together, right?
yes,
It's put together. I mean, you can see this, you can find this in Woolworths, like
yes,
it can be there. You know what I'm trying to say? Like it could
can,
be anywhere, right? But
yeah,
it's well put together, right? I mean, even like you say, like the sparkling wines and all these things. So
yeah,
what did you want to communicate? Like when someone holds this bottle, right? What
yeah,
did you want to communicate in terms of feeling as well? Because I think it's all about feeling, especially
feeling.
like that space of wines and all these things. What did you want to communicate?
Definitely. What I wanted to communicate more than anything is the strength to succeed.
So
So
when someone holds the bottle.
yes. Where when you
Mm,
hold the bottle and you look at it, I wanted to scream to you, oh, this is success more than anything. This is success.
mm,
Hence why I went to an extra mile or making sure that when it stands out there, it screams success. When you look at the elephant, it says to you, you've already won. You know, when you think, okay, how do I then celebrate myself? You think of that elephant that you saw at Seaga Valley Wines. So hence I also went an extra mile of not doing the whole one brand or one sticker layout that usually wines have, because most wines they use the one sticker layout where everything is just on one sticker. So for me, that was like, ah, it's very normal. It's a common thing. What do I do to stand out? Then that's when I decided the logo will stand by itself there at the top. So more something like a light of guidance. It stands there at the top. It's a constant reminder that a I'm your light of guidance. It's like your third eye. And then the
mm.
normal information layout then sits there by itself at the bottom where you can get all the details. But then the main aim of the logo being by itself there at the top is for you to actually, it's an actual constant reminder that this is success. This is your third eye. You can always do it. Come what may, you can always do it.
Awesome, man. But I'm also seeing like in terms of the colors here, like the silver, like the gold here, like this.
Yes.
I don't know if I can say it's black or matte, but they're
Black.
also like sort of like it's black, ne?
Yes.
So it's also
Different.
like some luxury colors, right?
Some
It's
luxury
it's
color.
not
Yes. Yes.
it's not
That's
just
also
it's
to
also like
differentiate
luxury as
that.
well,
Yeah.
like in that
So each
success,
and
the
every
excellence, and all these things.
Yeah, so each and every wine has its different colors. So your
Mm,
Cab Sav has a black foil, right? That's the strength that it possesses. Whatever it is, you get to understand that, okay, when I drink a Cab Sav, it's very strong. Then you get a Merlot, which is maroon burgundy, right? That's where you understand that, okay, this is strong, but then it has that thing of standing out. I can be a dark color, but I can still stand out. I can still draw attention to you. Then we have your Pinot Touch, which has a silver foil. Pinotage
mm.
are very bold and then they always stand out. They are that wine that usually stands out amongst the rest. So hence why I went for a brighter color for it. Not just bright in terms of your yellows and what, but silver, because you need to see it from very afar that, oh, okay, that's the exact strong wine that boldly stands out of all of them. Then with the other ones, I went with nice, vibrant colors so that most people get attracted by colors. So I needed to incorporate that listen, whichever character is it that you are, because some people consider themselves dark people in terms of how they understand things, and some people are just bright and out there and bubbly, and they are everything colorful. So I needed to bring everyone together to understand that we have different types of wines for different types of people, and then each and every color represents who you are. So I also had to do research on that as to what do the colors mean. I had to understand what colors mean. Like your orange, it's your strength, it's your boldness, it's how creative you are. Your yellow is how friendly and bubbly you are, always inquisitive about how to do things, when to do things. Your purples, how they represent your royalty, your calmness, your creativeness, your willingness to always strive, and your spirituality. So I went as far as doing those research. so that I understand what each color actually represents.
Wow, man, that's so that's that's very, very like in depth, right? That's like
Yeah.
in depth, like that requires like a lot of was how many sort of different bottles do you have?
14.
So for all those, they've got different specs.
Yes. All of them
Wow.
have different colors.
Wow, that's amazing. So why take that extra step though when others in the market are just doing, one sort of scheme or as you said, sometimes it's just one thing. Why take that extra step?
I wanted people to actually relate with the brand more than just me explaining it. So with every wine brand having one color scheme, they'll choose like your black, or they'll choose to go silver only, or they'll choose to go white. I then realized that every time I go in store, because then I was manifesting in broader spaces, right? So every time you'd go into a wine store, you'd find that, okay, this brand only has one color. You need to look at the labels to see and understand, okay, this is a Merlot, this is a Cab Serve, this is a Pinotage, this is a
Mm,
white wine. You needed to read. So I
yeah,
needed to stand out so that in the eye view of the shelves, when you
I can
get
just go
it,
and pick it up. I don't have to
you just
like
go and pick it up.
struggle
You don't,
and
yes, you don't have to struggle,
yeah.
because you know that when it comes to SVW, I'm a yellow. I'm gonna go and get that yellow. When it comes to SVW, I'm that purple. I'm gonna go and get purple. So that's why I'm saying I went to the depth of doing research so that I understand how strong each wine is, and then how strong each color represents, means. So hence I was able to put them together nicely to represent each and every individual, because as a person, you know, okay, this is my strength, this is my strongest points, so this color represents me. Therefore, the wine that would be good for me to consume, that can correlate to my color brand, it's this specific flavor.
Wow. So I mean, for those who are just joined, this is Lebo. This is Seaga Valley wines. So but these are different wines, right?
Yes.
Here, I mean, wow, it's a lot. It's really a lot. But man, it's amazing how like you're really interested in terms of like all the detail, right? Like
Yeah,
everything,
because even
all
if
the
if
detail.
you look at the bottles as well, they're also
Yeah.
different colors, and I did that on purpose.
These bottles here.
Because yes, when I spoke
Mm.
to my wine farmer, I asked him, can he get me a supplier that does different wine bottles? Cause I don't want to. Cause initially or traditionally, white ones are the only ones in clear bottles, right? And then red wines become in dark bottles. So I asked him, okay, instead of just using the normal burgundy bottles, can I get different, like your Bordeaux bottles? So all the bottles also have different names as well that
Mm.
most people don't know. So each shape of the bottle has a specific name attached to it. Sorry about that, has a different name attached to it. So I needed people to understand that, okay, with this specific red wine, the color stands out like this. When it's a pink wine, the pink also needed to represent the sweetness of it, and the person that is actually there buying it saying, okay, this wine speaks to me. And I can tell you with the amount of sales I've done throughout this couple of years, I've managed to realize that most people who actually drink, let's for example, a rosé, they are the exact epitome of that specific color through their
Mm.
characteristics, everything. People who love my white wines, the difference between your Sauvignon Blanc and your Chardonnay, those people represent those colors exactly as they are. So that's why I'm forever thankful of those, because now I know that, oh, okay, so basically I didn't go the wrong direction. What I did was actually smart, because now a person knows they can just contact me and say, Level, you know, the usual stuff. I don't even have to ask. So even when I do markets whereby I'm now introducing the brand to different people, I look at you and then I greet you, how you respond and how you actually show interest towards the wine. I can instantly tell that, okay, this one is a red, this one is a yellow, this one is a purple. Then I know exactly what is it that I need to sell to you. So I
Mm.
think that's been one of my consistent marketing strategies. It
Wow.
has worked for me. I don't even know how to, it has worked for me so much. So my research and understanding what the color stands for has helped me a lot.
Wow, that's amazing. Denzel, thank you for the likes. Wilisani, thank you for sharing. Kabelo, thank you for the likes. Sanelisiwe, thank you for the likes as well. Guys, you can like the live, you can tap. This is some good stuff, guys. This is some good stuff. You can apply it in any way in your company. Pumlani's planning. Thank you for the for the roses, for the gifts. Guys, those who don't know how to like the live, I know some of you don't know how to like the live. You can tap on your screens as many times as you want. TikTok does not stop you at all. So man, this is very interesting. So Alicia says she only drinks wine in winter. what what do you make of this? What do you make? So I don't know. So why only winter? What's happening in summer, Alicia? What are you on in summer? What's happening in winter?
I can definitely tell you that Sanelisiwe is a red wine drinker
Mm,
because
it's
so
comfort.
most red wine drinkers, yes, most red wine drinkers enjoy wine in winter. Reason being, you cannot have a red wine when it's hot, right? So
Mm,
the purpose of the red wine warms up your body. It doesn't matter
mm,
which red wine you're drinking. Red wine warms up your body. And remember, with red wine, you cannot drink it chilled. It always has to be within the room temperatures. If you chill it, you can basically put it in the fridge for like 5, 10 minutes and then it's done. That's how you can drink it chilled. So even if you chill it, it'll still warm up your body. So that's the how the tannins of it were made, how the blending of it was to warm up the body more than anything. So if you drink a red wine during summer days and it's hot, you are going to sweat. You are
mm.
going to sweat. So hence why, so the red wines are recommended for winter specifically because that's the perfect time to actually enjoy them. But with your white wines, they are perfect for any summer day. You can drink a white wine in the morning, in the evening, afternoon, perfect for summer days all day long.
Wow, man. Actualized Creations, thank you for the likes. Pumlani is plumbing, thank you for the likes. Zoo Sibu, thank you for the likes. Denzel, thank you for the likes. Sibu, thank you for the gifts as well. Sanelisa says you're spot on. Then you know what you're talking about. So Lebo, I know you've done different things, right? You've done
Yes.
candles, you have sold candles and made candles. You know, you're into the catering space. You know, and all these things. Um, so tell me, right? If someone is
Mhm.
baking, for example, right? They're
Yes.
baking scones, they're baking cakes, and or whatever it is, or they're cooking, you know, food, or in the catering, like what
Yes.
you know, in the space you're in. How do
Yes.
they sort of you know, put these principles into action, right? Like what
Yes.
we've been talking about. How would you do it in terms of, the branding, for example, right? Packaging what you have and all these things before we even say, okay, let's put these things out here and all these things. How do we put things out there? JB saying thank you for the plug. Is that allison.com? You say they've got a lot of different courses.
Yes, Allison.com. It has a whole lot of different courses.
So that's Alison.
Oh, and yes.
Awesome, awesome. So yeah, so how would you do it in it says free online courses with certificates and diplomas. Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Wow. So
Mm-hmm.
how would you go about uh doing it? In terms of is it even important? If I just
It
bake my
is.
scones, why should I just put them out there? Or if I've
It
got like
is
a website
definitely.
or whatever.
Yes, it is definitely important more than anything because one thing I've actually gotten to understand and realize. For example, when you do baking, number one, your logo needs to represent what you do. You can have a logo that has nothing to do with baking stuff and everything, but it needs to scream what the brand is about. For example, you can have, let's say, your initials as your brand, right? But the color coordinates your browns, your yellows, your gold, those are color schemes that are good for your bakings, right? Then have a catchy slogan that speaks about your brand, right? You have those color schemes complementing your slogan says to me, okay, what is this baker doing? What are they about? right? Then in that way, I'm able to understand that, okay, so if I have Lebo's bakery, I can use, for example, Seaga, right? Still have an elephant day, and then have a catchy slogan, something that with the likes of, let me think of something, uh, dominant to your taste buds, right? Then you know that this thing has something to do with food. It's enticing. It's something that I need to eat. It has everything to do with taste buds. Then I'll be interested to actually get to learn. Yes, sorry about that. My daughter just woke up. So
Yeah.
we needed, so once you have that bakery logo and it represents what your business is about, start getting it out there. Start doing your strategy planning, your marketing strategy, put that in place. Start by understanding, okay, now that I'm going to put my brand out there, in your marketing strategies, who are my customers? What emotions do I need to evoke in them? How do I get them to smell the taste without actually even seeing it there? Whatever is it that I post, how do I get someone to say, "Ooh, I just craved scones by just looking at that"? How do I get to take good quality pictures without having an iPhone? Invest in your business, because with social media, more than anything, you need to invest in your business. Make sure that you have proper lighting for your pictures. You have proper editing softwares or platforms for your stuff, so that you know that, okay, if I took a picture and then I need to edit it so that it stands out, it's nice. How do I do that? Again, it goes back to researching, because for you to be able to put your marketing strategy and marketing plan together, you need to do a research about the industry you're getting into, so that when you go out there and you decide, okay, I'm not only going to sell online, I'm going to go to a taxi rank, I'm going to go to different places. Who am I selling to when I get there? Because when you get to a taxi rank, there's a lot of people that are coming out of taxis to get inside the rank to departure to different places. But then those people are not the same. So who do I then target? How do I see my people? So you need to understand all those things. Go out, do your research physically, and understand the space that you're getting into, so that once you step in, it's not a surprise.
Wow, man, that's interesting. Zulu X Venda, thank you for the likes. Loazi FX, thank you for the likes. DenzelMills.com, thank you for the likes. Vini85, thank you for the likes. Guys, you can tap on your screens as many times as you want. TikTok doesn't stop you. It just helps other people see the live as well. So one thing you spoke about is that in the brand, in the logo, people
Yes.
should know exactly what you do, right? Which
Yes.
I feel sometimes where we we sort of shortchange ourselves is that
Yes.
when people, because the thing is there's a lot of competition out there, right? There's
Yeah.
a lot of competition for these eyeballs, right? These two things. There's a lot of competition.
A
People
lot.
are seeing there's a lot of messaging
Mm.
every time, like everywhere people go. As you're saying, you're talking about, whether someone's coming out of a taxi, whether they're in
Yes.
your car, just look at how many messages you're getting
Equity.
just from whatever. If you're gonna drive from Santon to Braamfontein, just
Yes.
like on the highway, how
The
many
high.
messages, so
A
why should
lot.
people take a second look? Right? That's the thing.
Mhm.
Why should someone take a second look or even pay attention to my
Attention.
logo? Then of course start now asking products about the products behind the logo, right?
Yes.
Or the service behind the logo. But what you want to
Yes.
do is to catch their attention first time.
First time.
This you know, I just saw it. Like sounds. What is it? Someone's head. I think it's something forex signals. So I mean that's as clear as day, right? It's
Exactly.
forex signals. If you need forex
You
signals,
need
it
no
is what
first
it
time.
is. You don't have to second guess. See, lost
Exactly.
the FX there. It's forex, right? And
It's
I
forex.
think that's the thing. Uh, and that's very important. Sometimes we have names that are too generalized that someone
Yes.
can't see what is this about. Is this legal services? What
Yes.
is it about? If someone has to really now ask you, what is this about, then it's a problem, right?
Exactly,
And I
because
think
now,
sometimes that's the issue there.
yeah, oftentimes I think I would say definitely that is the issue, because we just so quick to say, let me create a logo, let me get my business idea out there, or let me get my business out there rather, so that I just get this out of the way and get people to know me. So when you become lazy to invest in your logo, that's the one thing that represents you. That's the one thing that sells you more than anything. Because the first thing that I see when I go on your Instagram page needs to be your logo. The first thing that I see when I go onto your website, it's your logo. So what does it say? What does it represent? So you need to leverage on such information to say, how do I then create a logo that stands out for me, that explains me? For example, I'll do an example with the Success Inspiration logo. It has your blues, it has your purple. For me, someone who's interested in doing things color coordinately, it says to me, purple is for your connection, for your comparison, for your sanity, your charismatic, building wealth, right? Your blue then becomes something that represents how you build, how you create strength, how you create unity. Then I know that, okay, so the purpose of this brand is to actually put everyone together, is to bring everyone together, is to lead, it's to learn. We strive of teaching and learning. So for me, that stands out because I then understand, okay, what is it that I'm getting to? So your logo, your color schemes definitely speak a lot.
Guys, I'm just nodding. It's not that I really knew this, but I'll take it. You know what I'm trying to say? But anyway, guys, anyway, man, that's key. So I just wanted to put it out there to say like how you put, because it's all about how people feel, right? And that's
Yeah.
important. It's all about
Very.
how you make people feel. Life is just a business of feelings. Business is a business of feelings, especially when you're going to, you're going out there for customers for the first time. They also
Mhm.
people are also vested when they know that, man, you actually took effort, put in effort. You actually
Effort.
thought about what you are doing. I think that's what's very important. And we see these guys changing logos all the time. FNB now has a new thing they're up to.
It, hey,
Oh, so it shows you it's important, because why would they spend their time doing all this, changing everything on, because it's not a cheap exercise. Let's say
it's
when
not.
FNB changed their logo, that's not cheap. They had to change everything on their
They
apps.
had to
They had to
change from
change all the
billboards,
branches.
their ATMs, how the ATMs look, how
Imagine.
the bank looks. So you can imagine ATM, FNB has banks. I don't know, in one area they can have like 10 banks in different malls and shopping centers. So imagine having to change the branding and the layout and the outlook of all those branches. It's a whole lot of exercise and it costs money. So and also keeping in mind and bearing in mind that trends emerge all the time, everything changes with time. So we will be forced to actually constantly upgrade, rebrand, add this, subtract that, because of how everything always changes.
You know what? I don't know what. There's someone here.
Yes.
There's. I'm just reading something. There's this guy. This person is saying there's an author, Arthur Goldstack, who wrote about the FNB logo in his 1999 book. So it says the process of changing its name and introducing the new logo cost the bank in the region of 45 million rands at the time. So I don't know if this is from the one in 1999, or I think
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's the one in 1999, the old logo,
The
which
old.
that cost them 45 million. So I don't know
Oh,
if the what they changed in 2022. I don't know how much that cost them now, to
because you
to
can
actually
imagine if it was
change.
45 million then how much did it cost them to change it now in these days and times that we're living in, where everything is so expensive and pricey?
But it just shows you that people are taking this stuff seriously, and you just need to make your things fresh, right? Because even if you're selling scones, and as you're saying, even at the taxi rank, when someone you give them in a packet or whatever it is, like they feel that packet, like
Yes,
what it's about feelings. Like that's why
yes,
people go into Woolworths, right? To be honest with you, it's the
yeah.
feeling.
It's
It's
the
like, and people
feeling.
feel important, right? They feel important. Like,
Very.
it's true. However, how you want to cut it and slice it, those people, they feel
Yes.
important towards. That's what
Yes.
one thing
Even
I
when
just need
you're a
to tell you.
baker. Yeah, even when you're a baker, you don't always have to sell your scones in a small plastic or anything. Get these small, nice packaging boxes, those cake boxes. Place your scones nicely in there. Have motivational messages just written on the boxes. Even if you handwrite them, write them there so that when I open it and I see this message, like, wow, so this person basically, when she was packaging this thing, she thought of me. She wrote me a message, you know. So it's those little things that go an extra mile. To you, it can be something small where it's just gone, someone will buy. And then to them, to me, opening that box of scones and I see this handwritten message for me that is motivational or inspiring, it touches me. It wants me to come back because then I'll wonder, what message do I get next? What is it gonna say to me next? Sometimes the universe will align you. You'll go buy that box of scones and to find something that you actually needed to hear. So it's the creativity behind it of saying, put effort to your brand more than anything.
Wow, no, no, that's so true. That's so true, and I think that's what because I think sometimes as okay as an entrepreneur, or sometimes for most people, sometimes what starts is the product, right? So
Yeah.
someone is a good cook, they're a good baker. So sometimes what starts is but people don't
That.
know that your scones taste nice. They don't know that. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like, that's it's not everyone who knows. And
Yeah.
sometimes we do things for ourselves simply because we know what it means. It doesn't mean that everyone else out there
Everyone.
knows what it
Yes.
means, right? So
Yes.
you might have a nice name or whatever it is, but people don't know what
That,
it
that
is.
yeah, that's one of the most important things I think I've learned. Sorry to interject there.
No, that's fine.
Um, so what I've learned also is that doing the wine brand, because I started selling it to my immediate family, right? That didn't mean that it actually as good as it looks as good as they say, because to them it holds a specific it holds a specific meaning, right? So
Uh,
when I
uh,
do the whole rebranding, I had to understand that okay, they were happy about the branding, the layout, how everything was done.
it's their
But
daughter.
now that I had to go deeper and look into what trends and whatnot, nah, this brand is actually not as good as I think. I need to invest more. So I needed to learn that when you do business, you do not do it for your immediate people only. Consider the feedback that you'll be getting from someone who doesn't know you at all. Consider the feedback and the replies and the response of someone who's trying this brand and putting their trust in your brand, because that's the one that counts the most. If I did this and I'm like, okay, whatever is it that my family says is a go-to, what will happen if tomorrow they change their minds and then they decide to backlash and talk nasty about it? I was going to be broken and decide, ah, I'm leaving everything down. It's not happening. They're not happy about it. So the moment you start doing your business for someone else, you need to reevaluate yourself and your idea and where you're going.
So you talked about the marketing research that you did, right?
Yes.
Um, Maybe it was before the brand or after the branding, but I'm sure
Yes.
it's also a big part of figuring out your branding. So, what were the
Yeah.
main sort of pillars of that research, or the main things you looked at, or which you said, "Oh, this was quite helpful for me in this space"? The things that I had to focus on when what you took out of that market research. What did that look like? That research? Did you look for industry journals in the wine space, or what did
Yes.
you?
Definitely. So what I did is understanding the wine industry and how it works, right? And then I went as far as reading different case studies to understand how each and every wine brand has succeeded over the years. How do they maintain that? How they started their business and how is it that they were able to grow it. So I needed to understand that. So more than anything, what I took out from the whole entire research, it's basically not just about the wine industry, it's marketing at large. Understanding your ideas and finding ways. There are different ways to your marketing. So you need to find, are you going to use the cost effective ways of advertising and marketing your brand, right? Which For example, the cost-effective ways for someone who has the capital would be placing your adverts on your national TVs, on your radios, or newspaper, depending on what is it that you can actually afford at that time. For example, sponsor simple events in your community just for brand outreach, not asking them to pay anything. Sponsor them from your own comfort, from your own willingness to say, this is my way of putting my brand out there. If you have money, a billboard one works like wonders. Billboards are everywhere, and you know that the footfall of where you place your billboard will definitely get someone interested. Distribute your flyers, create flyers whereby whenever you go to any event or you hear that, okay, they say there's an event at this specific place, go and hand out your flyers, go and hand out your business cards. You might not have your stock there when you start because you think, ah, I've got limited stock, but go and put it out there, you know. For example, you mentioned with the bakers, approach things like your hotel, you know, corporate organizations that you know that my cookies would actually be needed in this specific business, so that you know that on a daily basis, every morning when they come in, I go and I put in my stand there, or I have my bucket there and I sell to them. What Sanilisi was saying, advertising with local media, cheap. Sometimes they don't even cost you at all. We have our local radio stations, we have local newspapers. Approach those people, have a deal with them, tell them, okay, I need to put my brand out there. So what happens is that whenever you guys go live or share something, I will push it on my timeline, I will promote it. Sorry about that. That way, you know that you are exchanging your brand for some sort of service that you're going to offer to them. So it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg to actually do that, because you know that with the newspapers, definitely they do drop offs in every area every day. So if you are in your local newspaper, you'll be able to say, okay, now that I'm there, I know I'll be in 100 households by Thursday night. They'll definitely see that my brand is there. You know, leverage on social media platforms. Social media does everything for us. So I had to learn. I wasn't a social media person. I had to learn how to use social media, how to maneuver it. I had to learn how do I leverage it so that it works for me, you know. So I'm
Wow.
still also learning all of that. So you need to identify, are you going to use the cost effective way if you have the money, or are you going to use the low cost way of doing your marketing and advertising so that it works for you? There are now, we are given platforms whereby we can do free websites, you know. Leverage on that. You don't have to pay for a website whereby you have to pay your 1.5, then every month you pay your 300, when you know that some months it might happen that I don't even have that 300 rand to pay for the website. But then rather what you do, go for the free platforms where you create your platform, your website for free, and then you distribute it. So identify which way of marketing are you going to use to promote your business.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. 986B Dinaj, thank you for the likes. Sanelis, thank you for the likes as well. So, guys, man, you know what? We meet every weekday, right? Between 8 and 9, Monday to Friday, to talk about different aspects of business, different aspects of entrepreneurship. So, if this was your first time here, please, you can join our WhatsApp group to get the link. You can join our WhatsApp group, Success Inspiration. Only admins can post, so you can join that WhatsApp group. All you need to do, you can go to my link tree here. You can click on that link tree on my profile, on my bio. It will basically, there'll be other links to our YouTube channel, you know, videos we've done, interviews. You can click this last one here. Only admins can post. It says join Success Inspiration WhatsApp group. So you can get the link when we go live and to know what we are talking about as well. So which is awesome. You know what? There's one thing that you talked about, and Vinny, thank you for the likes. Everyone liking the live, sharing the live. Much love to you, Lebo. Thank you for liking the live as well. One thing that you talked about,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe before I talk about that, I wanted to ask you something. When it
Yes,
comes to your market research, like
yes.
what informs the market research? And I
The
just
industry.
felt that, you know, it's very important, I think, your belief to
Yeah.
say, or your vision. But sometimes there's no point for me to look at the national, what's happening at a national level, in terms of the industry when I don't believe that I can be national. You know what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say? When I don't believe, and I just felt that maybe sometimes we do stuff. Maybe I can bake my scones or whatever it is, but it's like I don't believe it can be national. I'm just doing it maybe because I'm
Yeah.
compelled, because it's just a gift I have. Now I have to use it, or I need some extra cash. It's just a side hustle. But I think your vision really
Yeah.
is also what really matters, to say, where do
Okay.
you want to take this thing? Where do you see it can be? That
Yeah.
really informs how your approach to it, to your
Yeah.
marketing, it really informs. Is this about your family in your WhatsApp group and your friends? Is this more about your neighborhood? Is this more about the whole province or the nation? For you, what was it? Where do you want to see Siaka Valley wines when you
For
started? Like,
when
where
I
did
started,
you want to?
so for me, when I started, instantly my competition was your Robertsons, your Fourth Street. That was my competition. Hence why with everything that I did, I would check on how are they doing this? How do they do it? How can I do it better? I
Even
checked,
when
okay.
there's nothing, but already you're like, I'm going for speed.
Yes, I'm going for spear already. I'm at
Definitely.
that level. So that's how far it is. Because then I need to always understand, as much as they are big, how do they keep it going? How do they maintain? How do they become consistent? How do I then do it better? So for me, those are my competition, so that in everything that I do, I put my 100%. My vision always stays clearer. That's why it was um more than anything, me getting into Botswana was like, oh, okay, this is the step into the right direction. I'm doing exactly what I need to be doing. Then how do I go from here? I needed to understand, okay, if now from Gauteng I'm into Botswana, how do I need to create something that stands out for them? I need to interact with them. I need to be there and see that, okay, these are the people that I'm selling to. How do I market my brand in Botswana without me being there? So that's why I'm
Mm.
saying your Robertsons, your Spear, those are my competition, you know?
Four cousins. Those, no, four cousins was when we were in varsity. Four cousins.
Yes.
But anyway,
So I
uh,
needed to
uh,
my vision to align with what is it that I want to achieve, and always maintaining and striving to make it better. Because if I limit myself to only being within the regions of Gauteng, then definitely that's where I'm going to stop, because I would then feel like I can't go broader than this. I can't go, it is going to be difficult or anything. But because already the vision for me was like, these specific brands are my competition. I need to understand how is it that they're doing their marketing, how are they getting it out there so that I can do it 10 times better. And I'm still doing that till today.
wow, man, that's amazing. CP, thank you for the likes. TD, thank you for the likes. Much love, much love. So tell me, right? And I think we're gonna have to do another live when it comes to, getting really understanding the space, right? Understanding,
Yeah.
things such as getting into these retail stores. What are the challenges? What are
Yeah.
the issues there? I don't know when next you're available, but we'll talk. Then you know just seeing how those are really like the issues we'll talk about. But I wanted to talk about this issue. You talked about billboards, right? And the
Yeah.
issue about getting yourself out there and the power of that,
Yes.
getting yourself out there and not necessarily focusing on the sales.
Yeah.
Of course, a byproduct of marketing
Of
is
marketing. Yes.
sales, right?
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is brand building, and the mind and the message that you're sending to into people's minds.
Yeah.
So there was this drip, right? So drip, with the drip with the shoes,
Yeah.
they did that whole campaign. I think it was sometime last year, where
Yeah.
they just took over billboards,
Billboards.
right?
Yeah.
So which I believe was a very costly exercise.
Definitely.
Um, and the thing is, I haven't bought drip. Like, I don't buy the shoe. I didn't buy the shoe from that exercise.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But what I believe what drip managed to do was
Mm-hmm.
to cement itself as a
Yeah.
real player in the
Yeah.
minds of South Africans. I think that's what
Yeah.
it managed to do, right?
Definitely.
That's what it managed to say, hey, we are here.
Yeah.
Yes, we are here with the Pumas, we are here with the Nikes, we are here,
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah.
think that's the most important thing that they managed to do. And
A
it's
lot.
not really just tied with the cells they got in that time, which maybe it picked up. But even to those, in my mind now, when I see someone wearing drip, I'm like, okay, so you never
Mm.
know. Maybe next
You
year from
never
now, I'll
know.
try it out. Who knows? You know what I'm trying to
Who
say?
knows?
But
Yes.
the
Because
important thing in my mind, I'm like, man, these are real players. You know what I'm trying to say? You know,
definitely.
in that
Definitely.
space, you have to sort of prove yourself by doing those sort of things, right?
Yes.
Because people doubt. They're like, drip, you know, maybe let me go to Puma. Let me go to whatever it is. But when you what are your thoughts on that? Because sometimes people are like, marketing, going out there giving things for free and whatever. But what are your thoughts on that in terms of like brand building itself?
I would definitely say that was a very, very great strategic move from Legao, right? The
Mm,
reason being, from there on, as an entrepreneur, it got me to understand the mindset that he was in when doing that, how broad and how big he's willing to go for his brand to get to that extent, the type of emotion that he wants to tap into for people to understand what Drips is about. Because it wasn't just a billboard with a shoe. It had different
mm,
footprints of the shoes, and then it explained different in just one word or one sentence what drip is. So that me going from R21 to your Pretoria and whatnot, I've you see 5 billboards of drip.
man.
There is no way that you wouldn't then go into on the internet without knowing it and say, what is this drip thing that's all over, the road? Highways, everywhere, it's there.
I mean, they
You
had
will then
prime advertising all the way
that yes,
from Fourways to Sandton to Joburg.
always.
It was
Yes.
all drip. I mean, they took like the ones like in Sandton
No,
on the highway. I
in
mean, those
Sandton
are
on the
expensive.
highway. So
Those
you
are
can imagine
expensive.
traveling from
Those, like real
Midrand to
estate.
Joburg. Yes,
Mm,
traveling from Midrand to Joburg, you see them from when you live in Midrand till you get to Joburg. So that for him was a great way to get the lead generations, because then he was talk of the town as to where is this brand now coming from, where it took over our streets. People talk word of mouth, lead generation more than anything, because each and every brand would be like, okay, we want to associate ourselves with this guy because we can
mm,
see that he's actually ready to make the big moves. So that for me, more than anything, was a great strategic move, because then
mm.
it
And
opened
the
all those
consumers,
other
right?
platforms.
They want to
Yes,
associate with such a power player, right? Even the
yeah,
consumers when now you wear it with respect. It's
with
like people are like,
respect.
okay, all right, we know
Yeah,
what
you
this is
wear
about.
it as your
Which is
Nike.
ultimately what it's about when people buy things like shoes, right? That's why I buy
Yes,
my Air Jordan 1 because
yeah,
people will respect to say, okay, they are ones. This guy's wearing ones. You know what I'm trying to say? And that's
yes,
what it's about ultimately. How people feel when they buy your product.
yes,
What power do they start feeling? Which you said you were trying to convey with with the colors, the color
yes,
scheme, the elephant, because that sort of power, right? That's what
yeah.
it's about, right?
That's
At
what
the
it's
end of the
about.
day, when people are buying whatever, if it's a Hennessy or whatever, they want to feel a certain type of way,
That's what,
regardless of how this
exactly.
thing tastes. But to them, it's like, yo, we're drinking Henny, we're drinking Henny. That's what it's about. That's what it's
Yes,
about. It's not
it's
about just focusing on the mechanics to say that what
yes.
they need is a cake for their birthday. No, they need the
No,
bells and the whistles so
and the
that people
whistle.
can say, you know
Yeah,
what,
even that.
yeah, sorry.
Yes, even when you bake that cake that you're doing for a 4-year old, a 5-year old, a 30-year old, to them it's a forever lasting memory, because it will be something that tapped into that to say, this cake was beautiful. I don't even want to cut it.
Mm,
Then it will bring them like, okay, this person understands and can actually comprehend what I'm feeling. When someone drinks a Hennessy, you know for a fact that when I get into a space and I drink Hennessy, already I feel important. I feel like the most successful person ever, which is exactly what I'm trying to tap into. When you get a bottle of Seaga Velua and you're chilling there at home, you will feel the need to not just drink it with any wine glass. Drink it with your specific wine glass. When you're out there and we get into the club space, when you have a bottle of Seaga Velua wines, you don't just put it there in the ice bucket. It needs to be filled on your table. That's what I'm trying to achieve, and I'm definitely going to do it.
That's awesome. I was about to say amen. You know what I'm trying to say. That's how powerful it is. Discover Bells. Thank you for your comments. They're saying it's about making your clients feel special. Definitely, that's what it's about. So I think let's end it here today. I think we've got so much more in
Okay.
talking about distribution channels, getting into
Yes.
retail stores
Into
and all
detail,
these
yes.
things. I don't know how your Thursday is looking like, but maybe we can do
This
that on
whole week I'm
Thursday.
available, so any
Sorry.
day. This whole week I'm available, so any day.
All right, cool stuff. We're definitely going to talk about that. So, guys, man, if you enjoyed this live, you got value from this live, please subscribe to these lives, right? So that you can support what you're doing. Obviously, you're jumping for free, but you can subscribe to these lives. We also have got subscriber only lives, or like meetings. We did one on Friday. So, how you do that, you can click this star here, right? If you check this and you can get your badge, Success Inspiration Academy subscriber badge. It's like 99 rands a month, and you can get things going, right? We can get things going. So as I said, guys, we meet here every weekday between 8 and 9. So thank you for everyone who joined us. I got you. Hope you did get value, from this live. And guys, remember, our dreams are valid. Let's keep pushing. Lebo, I don't know if you've got any last words for the guys who are on here, just in terms of what they're doing and all these things.
More than anything, I think most people that are here have businesses or even ideas of their businesses. Do not sleep on yourself. Leverage on everything that is being handed to you on a silver platter. Never sleep on your vision. Make sure that whatever is it that you encounter or you bring or you get into association with, it benefits your vision. It is aligned with your vision. That way, you know that there is room for you to grow, there is a space for you to grow, and you won't always sleep on um, yourself. Marketing is made for everyone. With marketing, the pie is extremely big for all of us. Take your piece and run with it.
Awesome, guys. Take your piece and run with it.